Good Friday morning, and thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet, the voice you know with the news you trust studio, sponsored by BASF, where you can count on the trusted performance of Allivo seed treatment to protect your soybean crop. I'm Dusty Sonnenberg. Under cloudy skies, I have a temperature of 21 degrees on the barn thermometer. Now, we didn't get any new snow here in Henry County overnight, but I know the further south you travel, the greater the amounts that have fallen overnight and this morning. So if you're traveling to day 2 of the Ohio Farm Bureau annual meeting, be safe on the roadways. A quick congratulations to some of the award recipients from yesterday. The winners of the 2025 Ohio Farm Bureau Advocacy and Action Award are Dr. Sarah Eisen of Claremont County and Tim Hesselbrock of Butler County. The 2025 Distinguished Service Award recipients are Craig Adams of Highland County, Mike Townsley of Franklin County, and the families that have hosted the Blanchard River Demonstration Farms, the Kellogg Farms of Hardin County, Kurt Farms of Hardin County, and Statler Family Farms of Hancock County. Taking a quick look at what's making agricultural headlines at OhioAgNet.com, the final hometown tour of 2025 was held by the Ohio Soybean Association, presenting the program in collaboration with the Ashtabula, Geauga, Lake, and Trumbull County Farm Bureaus. It was a cold afternoon, but hot topics were being discussed. Among those was trade and an update with the U.S. Soy Export Council. Now, sticking with soybean news, Ohio's Scott Metzger was also recently elected to lead the American Soybean Association in 2026. He's a Ross County soybean farmer and will represent Ohio. Speaking of things on the national front, this past week during the announcement of a $12 billion farmer aid package, President Trump, Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins, and other key national leaders in the cabinet had a meeting in the Oval Office, and included in that were several farmers, one of which was the Ohio Farm Bureau Treasurer Adele Flynn. Our own Ty Higgins had a chance to catch up with Adele and get all the details. You can listen to their conversation in our featured audio at OhioAgNet.com. And last but certainly not least, it is a season of giving, and Ag Credit, one of Northwest Ohio's largest lenders for farmers, rural homeowners, and ag businesses, has awarded $139,900 in mission fund grants to 14 organizations in support of their efforts. And finally, with the holiday theme, Shelley Detweiler contributed an article about Christmas cookbooks and a wonderful recipe you're going to want to try. All that again online at OhioAgNet.com. Let's get a check now on your Friday and through the weekend weather forecast. Today's forecast brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com.
Pretty boring day here across most of Ohio, except we've got some advancing cold air. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at that Ohio Ag Weather update. We had a Clipper system dive through Indiana overnight. It's affecting southwest Ohio this morning. Be careful if you're in that southwest quadrant. You may run into a few little spits and spats of snow, but it's winding down and moving away very, very quickly. Arctic air is the story. It's on the move today. We'll really see it reach its zenith tomorrow and Sunday. Tomorrow, in that cold air, we have another Clipper, the fourth one of the week, trying to come through, and it's going to bring some snow to central and southern Ohio on the larger accumulation side, but then we see light snow and flurries in the north as well, so 80 to 90% coverage of a coating to an inch or two from late Saturday through early Sunday morning. By daybreak Sunday, I think everything's gone. High pressure is dominant for Sunday. It's Arctic high pressure. Temperatures are going to be stuck easily in the teens. Wind chills way below zero. The good news is we see this move out relatively quickly. We're still quite cold to start the day Monday, but by Tuesday we're seeing temperatures ease, and we are well above normal, and we are quite mild then through the rest of next week. Have some rain coming in here on Thursday the 18th. High temperatures with rain going to create a lot of snow melt, and we go muddy very, very quickly. See temperatures stay warm through the weekend and then into the week of Christmas. Sunday the 21st, we see another round of scattered rain shower action, maybe a tenth to half an inch there. Monday, Tuesday of Christmas week, mostly dry. Christmas Eve sees a few bitty rain showers here and there, and then we get a little bit colder for Christmas Eve night and Christmas Day, but we see sunshine, and I don't think we have a white Christmas. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
When you combine the advanced technology of Enlist E3 soybeans with Seed Consultants' dedication to performance in the Eastern Corn Belt, it's a simply better experience. Our Seed Consultants brand soybeans are hand-selected, tested, and proven to perform in your conditions, backed by the local knowledge of Seed Consultants sales professionals. Bind to better soybeans with reliability and results packed into every variety. Visit seedconsultants.com.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What, did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
Well, this past Monday, Defiance County Farm Bureau, in conjunction with OSU Extension, hosted the Northwest Ohio Biofuel Summit. Now, I had a chance to catch up with Tad Nicholson, Executive Director of the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association, and we talked a little bit about year-round E15 and points he shared during the discussion of the summit.
Yeah, this conference came about because I think some Farm Bureau folks are sitting around saying, why don't we have an unleaded 88 pump up in our neck of the woods here? And really the reason is we got to get this federal fix done because fuel retailers are going to be reluctant to really expand the offering until they're assured they could sell it during the summer months. Today, that's not the case. It's a really easy fix that needs to be done in Congress, and today was a great opportunity for us to highlight that.
I think as we heard from both the retailers and from Marathon, it's exactly what you said. They need that long-term assurity and certainty that if they make the change, that it's going to be able to be there for a while.
Yeah, the petroleum industry is here. The retail industry is here. We meet with those folks all the time. I get it. If I was a retailer, I wouldn't want to take the chance either of putting it in and having the federal government not get this fixed. They're waiting for us to get this done. So really, our incentive is, if we can get this done, we know retailers are ready to come in. They've told us they're ready to come in as soon as they have the assurance of a federal fix, and that's instant corn demand. So anytime somebody is starting to use E15 that is currently using E10, that's 50% more corn. That's what we're after. That's what we want, and I think we're ready for it.
Now, you indicated here in Northwest Ohio, not a lot of opportunity to purchase unleaded 88. Other parts of the state, depending on the retailers there, quite a bit more opportunity. Some of the reasons behind that, you think?
Well, I don't know. Thank goodness for Sheetz, because Sheetz is the one company that's not afraid to go ahead and expand the E15 offering. It's marketed as unleaded 88. That's the octane number is 88. They're opening stations left and right, it seems like, and it's really good to see. But that's not the norm. The norm is retailers cautious, wanting to wait for long-term certainty. So we're lucky here in Ohio that some areas have gotten some expansion in that, but it's if we can get this thing fixed, and I mean it can be fixed in whatever the bill is, the next one that's moving. And there's agreement by the petroleum industry and the ethanol industry on this. We've just got to get this done. If Congress could do one thing for us that would be short-term corn demand, it's pass E15 year-round.
Well said. Again, my guest today, Tad Nicholson, Executive Director of the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association. Now let's check in with Ty Higgins as he has an update from yesterday's Ohio Farm Bureau annual meeting.
Visiting with Evan Calicote. He is Director of State Policy with Ohio Farm Bureau at the 107th Ohio Farm Bureau annual meeting. As we talk about a lot of policy here over the next couple of days, on the state side of things, how would you summarize 2025?
I think it's been an absolutely awesome year for the Ohio Farm Bureau in 2025. Starting off with getting our health plans bill passed, and that's an awesome thing that we're able to offer to our members, having enrollment this fall. So it's absolutely awesome. We're also able to get a lot of wins there in the state budget, H2 Ohio Department of Agriculture, things like that. We've had a lot of success in 2025, and we hope to keep that going in 2026.
I don't want to downplay the success, but what were some things that maybe almost got there that we're going to continue working on as 2026 gets here?
Yeah, we're still definitely going to keep working on the property tax front. We know that matters a lot to our members, and before the legislature went on break, we were able to introduce House Bill 575, which will have some updates to the CAUV program. No formula updates or anything like that. We're just really trying to make it more uniform across the state and make sure everyone is getting the values that they need.
Boy, property taxes being talked about an awful lot over the last year. Where is Farm Bureau and where is rural Ohio as far as property tax? What are some of the things that look good to you and some of the things that you might push back as we start to draw up legislation in the future for that?
Yeah, well, we just saw the legislature send about 5 bills to the governor a couple weeks ago, and they're just now got to his desk on Tuesday, I think. So we're going to see how the governor decides on those bills over the next few days. But I think we'll still see work in that space. I think the legislature has said they want to continue working on property taxes once they come back. Their first day back is actually our Ag Day at the Capitol, so we'll very much be looking forward to hosting them when they come back and talking through those issues further.
You mentioned CAUV and getting it more uniform uniform. So we're not talking about reform altogether, because there has been talk of working on valuations and the way the formula looks with the changing landscape of agriculture over the last 10 years. But what does this particular change in CAUV look like as far as making it more uniform across the board?
Yeah, so what this bill does, it does a lot of administrative updates that we think the program has needed. It clarifies a lot of certain things. We want to make sure that CAUV is, again, being applied uniformly across the state. We have many of our members that farm in multiple different counties, and it can be often very troublesome dealing with different auditors and having different processes. So we really hope that this bill will, again, help provide uniformity and more stability in the CAUV program. If there are other ways that we can help our members with property taxes, we're going to keep working on them.
Evan Calico with Ohio Farm Bureau, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ty. Stay tuned. We'll be back to take a look at your markets after this.
Attention farmers and ranchers, Purple Wave's December 30th Ag Auction features top equipment from Basigio Farms LLC Retirement Auction in Gordon, Nebraska. Upgrade your operation with our 2022 John Deere S770 STS Combine, Farm King 2450 Bale Mover, and a powerful 2020 John Deere 8R S10 MFWD Tractor. This is your chance to acquire field-ready machinery that performs, all selling at absolute no reserve to the highest bidder. Visit purplewave.com to view detailed listings and inspection information. Purple Wave Auctions, straight, simple, sold.
It's time now for today's market analysis, brought to you by the Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to be building the newest state-of-the-art soybean crush facility in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. Call 574-566-2113 for information on soybean marketing to LDC.
Grain markets finished mostly higher on Thursday, but I tell you what, not by much. The market was led out of the gate by the corn market. It was the only market that was positive all day long. And then soybeans decided to come along for the ride as we moved into the late midday hours and on into the close. Part of the reason why soybeans reacted, more flash soybean sales to China. China secured similar tonnages to what we saw earlier in the week yesterday. The tonnages were close to what happened on November 13th as well. Corn and wheat sales were big on the weekly export sales report, but the market is tiring of large U.S. sales because we've got a record South American crop in the making. So let's talk about the exports first. USDA announced the sale of 264,000 metric tons of beans to China, another 226 to unknown destinations, which is thought to be China. That amounts to 490,000 metric tons. 186,000 metric tons of corn was sold to unknown destination, rumored to be either Mexico or South Korea. The early day dip in the futures is probably what sparked the buying on at least China's side, but also there was a Chinese state auction overnight, the Wednesday night, Thursday period, where they sold a big chunk of their in-stock beans into the marketplace. So yesterday's buying also has been thought to maybe replenish some of those stocks. Here's where it gets interesting. When you start to tally things up with the 500,000 tons that was booked Thursday morning, now math is putting it out to about 6.5 to 7 million metric tons of U.S. soybeans, or 55 to 60% of the total 12 that they're supposed to buy. My math, Ryan Martin's math, hasn't got there yet. I still have us back in that 4 to 4.5 range. So it's going to be interesting. China's going to have to buy another 1 to 2 million metric tons a week if that 6.5 to 7 is right to get to 12 million metric tons. Again, this is all lining up to be a wild and crazy January USDA report when it comes to the balance sheet. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thanks, Ryan. Let's take a quick look at how your markets closed, brought to us by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance, online at seedconsultants.com. Well, March corn closed up 2 1/4 cents, and May corn was up 2 1/2. January soybeans closed the day up 2 1/4 cents, and March soybeans were up 1 3/4 cents. While March Kansas City wheat closed down a penny, March Chicago wheat was up 4 cents, and March Minneapolis wheat was up a penny. Taking a look now at your overnight markets, December corn is trading down 2 1/4 cents at $4.33, and March corn is down 1/4 penny at $4.46 1/4 cents. January soybeans are trading a penny and a quarter lower at $10.92 1/4 cents. With March soybeans down 1/2 penny at $11.02 1/4 cents. Wheat for December currently unchanged at $5.34 1/2, but your July 26 new crop wheat is up 3/4 penny at $5.49 3/4 cents. In livestock at yesterday's close, December live cattle were up $3.57 1/2, $230.37 1/2 cents. February cattle were up $2.42 1/2 at $230.95. December lean hogs closed the day 95 cents higher at $83.40, with February hogs up $1.75 at $84.17 1/2 cents. This is the Ohio AgNet.